Sabrina Jones. Sabrina Jones, born on October 6, 1960 in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, is an American painter and comic book artist, writer, illustrator, and editor. She is associated with the work of artist/activist collectives such as Carnival Knowledge and underground comics such as GirlTalk and World War III Illustrated, as well as her own graphic novels. Biography. Born and raised in Philadelphia, Jones moved to the New York City to study painting at Pratt Institute. Jones began writing and illustrating comics in the 1980s, inspired by the societal tumult of Reagan era and the revived conservative focus on repealing abortion and other reproductive rights. She joined a group of pro-choice activist artists called Carnival Knowledge. World War III Illustrated co-founder Seth Bachman convinced Sabrina to create her first comic strip for the magazine. She went on to edit and contribute to many issues, including Bitchcraft, Female Complaints, and Life During Wartime. Jones completed an MFA from the School of Visual Arts in New York City in 2003. She is also a professional scenic artist, member of United Scenic Artists. Comics work. In the 1990s, Jones co-founded GirlTalk, an anthology of women's autobiographical comics published by Fantagraphics. Jones created her first historical comics for Wobblies, a graphic history of the industrial workers of the world, verso 2005. Her work for The Real Cost of Prisons inspired her to create Mixed Signals, a counter-recruitment tool in comic book form. Her first long-form graphic novel was Isadora Duncan, a graphic biography, Hill and Wang, published in 2008. 2010 saw one of Sabrina Jones' first collaborations with a writer, Paul Buhl. Buhl wrote the text for FDR and the New Deal for Beginners, which was illustrated entirely by Jones. The mixture of graphic novel and history book by Buhl and Jones was the latest in the long line of For Beginners books. In 2013, Sabrina Jones illustrated Race to Incarcerate, a graphic retelling and adaptation of Mark Marr's book on America's exploding imprisonment rate. Painting. While known as a fine art painter, Jones has worked consistently as a scenic artist since 1990, painting scenery for film, theater, and television. In 1994, as a new member of United Scenic Artists Local 829, Jones began weekly work for Saturday Night Live's broadcasts that continues through the 2013 season to this day. Personal life. She now lives in Brooklyn with novelist Steve Stern and two cats, Percy and Jezebel. References ==